Seeing your patient expire is one of the hardest part of nursing. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vera, and on this channel I talk about nursing, lifestyle, mom life, beauty, and I do some vlogs. If you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for joining the family. I bet you're gonna love it here. In today's video, as you can see from the title, and as you can see from, you can tell it's a nursing video. Yeah, because I always try to sit down, look pretty, but I always try to bring to you all the juicy facts of being LPN, of being nurses. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I come with a new video or a new vlog. So let's dive into this video. From the title of this video, the hardest part of nursing, the hardest part of being a nurse. Don't mind the way, everything looks juicy or everything looks good or everything looks excellent from the outside. We nurses always have that hard part. Like, we nurses always have that part of nursing or the situations that just make us bawl. Like, we cry literally. It's not perfect. Nursing is not perfect. We have the hardest time in nursing, and we have those things that really make us think like, is nursing really meant for us? So in today's video, I will give you all that hardest part of nursing. Those times of nursing that you feel like you cannot do it no more. You feel like it's not going, it's not moving. So you want to stay tuned, you want to watch this video to the end. So you should know these facts. You should know that everything is not glitter. Everything is not that good in nursing, or everything is not that excellent about being a nurse. So you want to stay tuned, you want to watch this video, you want to subscribe, you want to like, you want to share this video with your other nursing students so they get updated, so they get to know the hardest parts of nursing or the hardest part about being nurses. So let's dive into this video. So guys, the first point I have on here is the fact that seeing your patient expire is one of the hardest part about nursing, or is one of the hardest part about being a nurse. In nursing, we call the death of a patient expired. So when you hear, oh, my patient expired, that means the patient died. So it's really hard trying to, you're the nurse helping out with the cleaning, dressing, and you have to deliver the news to the patient's family or the relatives. It's kind of hard. I've had situations that I have to deliver the news. I have to clean up my patient, and sincerely, it's not a good experience at all. But yeah, as nurses, we go through this, and it's hard. It's really hard. Like, there's a lot of emotions to it. I know it's just a job, but when you lose a patient, it's really hard. So yeah, that's the first point I have here on the hardest part of nursing. The second hardest part of nursing is the fact that you have to deal with judgmental statements like, oh, you just a nurse, or oh, she's just a nurse. I've heard this a lot of times. These judgmental statements, I've heard it a lot, and it's really hard, like, for someone to belittle you and just say, oh, she's just a nurse, or you just a nurse, or statements like that. It really makes nursing hard, and it's just that hard part of nursing. The third point about the hardest part of nursing I have on here is working long and tedious shifts, especially when those long shifts, you have difficult patients on that shift. It just makes the shifts really long and tedious. My nursing friends can testify to this. Like, leave me a comment down below, all my fellow nurses that always have like long shifts and you feel like these shifts don't come to an end when you have kind of difficult patients. Yeah, that's the hardest part of nursing or about being a nurse, is those long and tedious shifts. And those shifts feel like forever when you have difficult patients to deal with. Guys, another hardest part of nursing, or another point why I would say it's the hardest part of nursing or about being a nurse, is the fact that there is lack of respect for nurses, especially in the healthcare system, amongst management and amongst other nurses, amongst family members. There is a lot of lack of respect. I've had a lot of other nurses say the same thing. Like, there's some family members who don't respect nurses at all. There's some management personnel that don't respect the nurses at all. And there's some fellow healthcare workers that do not respect the nurses at all. And it's really hard, and it really makes nursing hard, and it really makes being a nurse really hard when you have other people, you know, you work with that gives you little to no respect at all. Like, it's really hard, and it really makes that part of nursing really hard. That's my fourth point. The fifth point of the hardest part of nursing is the fact that you have to deal with the politics of the facility or wherever you work at. Like, if you don't know, there is a lot of politics that goes on in the nursing field, especially in facilities that they feel like nurses have no say, or like the management feels like nurses have no say. They, you know, literally tell you what to do, and they feel like you gotta do whatever they say. It's really hard, especially when you use your nursing judgment and you feel like whatever they're asking you to do or telling you to do makes no sense or don't have a definition to it, but you have to do it just because, you know, you following your bosses. So yeah, it really makes nursing hard, and I would term that as the hardest part of nursing, that you have to deal with the politics of wherever you work at. The sixth hardest part of nursing is the fact when you work at a facility that you have to deal with outdated system or technology, you just draw back, you know, it's like you have others to put in the computer, computers are not working. It's really hard. There are some times that in a day you can have close to 10 different others you have to put in. You have to call doctors, you have to call family members. It's really hard when this system don't work. I've worked in facilities like we've had electricity outage for like days, and we go to paper charted. It's really hard. Then there are times like that I feel like just crying because it really makes my work really difficult. Then the technology kind of slow, computers down, the printers down. It's really hard. Yeah, nursing is not that juicy. It's not all juicy. We have this hard part that we have to deal with. And to all my nursing students, I just want to, you know, keep you guys updated, and I want to let you guys know it's not all juicy all the time, it's not all sweet all the time, and we have this hardest part about being nurses. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you hit your subscribe button? If you've watched this video, because I know you're watching, why don't you just subscribe? Just hit that red subscribe button right there. It's free, guys. Subscribe so you help this channel, so you help us grow, and the facts you need to succeed in nursing school, to succeed in nursing, and to succeed in life. Guys, the seventh hardest part of nursing, or the seventh hardest part of being a nurse, is the fact that you keep your pee for a long time. Yes, you keep that pee for a long time, and we nurses term it as the nursing bladder. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
That's because you can go working 12-hour shifts, working 8-hour shifts, working 14 hours, 16 hours, whatever hours, keep it pee in your system. Yeah, we call it nursing bladder. I have the nursing bladder too, because sometimes I go for a long shift without taking myself to the restroom. Your brain doesn't even tell you to. So yeah, it really gets hard, because when later on your brain tells you to, you're rushing and you're running. Like, you can get really busy during the shift that you even forget to use the restroom, and you get that nursing bladder too when you get home and you realize, oh, I didn't use the restroom for a whole 12 hours, for a whole 16-hour shifts. Yeah, that's really hard. To me, that's the hardest part about being a nurse. That's the hardest part about being in the nursing field, or being in nursing. So guys, the eighth hardest part of nursing, or the eighth hardest part about being a nurse, is the fact that you have to deal with all these family members or all these patients that think they know everything just because they Google stuff. Like, I don't know about you, but to me, that's one of the hardest part of nursing, because you have all these family members who always Google stuff, and they feel like Google is always right, and they kind of belittle you because they've Googled something and Google told them so and they try to diagnose the relative or family member, and the patients also try to diagnose themselves, and whatever the nurses have to say means nothing to them because Dr. Google says so and so. So yeah, it really gets hard. Like, you cannot tell the patient nothing because you get that disrespect, because they feel like you don't know anything. I mean, Google is not 100% perfect. I can write something and put on Google, but these patients assume, or they feel like Google is always right, and the family members also feel like Google said so and the nurse is wrong. Whatever Google says is right, and they give you that little respect or no respect at all as a nurse. So that's the hardest part of nursing, because you have no saying in whatsoever. After a patient or their family member has Googled something and Google tells them something different, you as a nurse has no saying, and that's really hard, and it really makes being a nurse or being in nursing really hard. So guys, the ninth hardest part about nursing or about being a nurse is the fact that it comes with a lot of pressure. I don't know about you, but me personally, there's a lot of pressure sometimes, because you have some days it's just like a quiz. If you haven't watched my other nursing videos, I'm gonna leave cards up so you can, go check it out. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure about being a nurse or about being a nurse. To me, that's one of the hardest part about being a nurse, because there's some days you try to know everything because you don't know who's popping up with some questions. You have patients who come asking questions about their illnesses. You have patients who, kind of try to test your knowledge to know if this nurse taking care of me knows it all. Or you have these doctors asking you questions. You have the people you work with ask you questions. You have these family members asking you questions. So it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure around you, and it really makes nursing hard, because there's some days it's like you're thinking all over the place. You cannot think straight. I've had days like that, and it really makes me wonder, like, is nursing really for me? Because there is too much pressure. It really makes it hard. The 10th hardest part of nursing, guys, you might see it basic, but I feel like it's really hard. I feel like it's the hard part of being a nurse. The fact that you have to work on holidays. You have to work on snow days. That's hard. To me, that's hard. Working on holidays, working on snow days, working on weekends, to me is the hardest part about being a nurse, because you see, like, other jobs, they get off on holidays. They have like there are a lot of holidays they off, but as nurses or as people into nursing, we don't get those days. Unless your off day fall on those days, you have to be at work regardless of the season, regardless of if it's a holiday or not, regardless if it's a weekend or not. So yeah, to me that's the hardest part. Like, you're not with your family on a holiday, you cannot take off on a holiday. There's some jobs, even they'll tell you if you want to take off, they'll tell you, oh, not today, we need more people, because a lot of people took off, so you have to go in. So yeah, that's the hardest part of nursing. So guys, those are the 10 points I have for us all, I had for you all, about the hardest part of nursing that you have to know. The hardest part about being nurses that you have to know. So when you're getting into nursing, you should have these facts, and you should know that it's not all juicy in the inside. There's a lot of hardest part in nursing you have to deal with. There's a lot of things you have to deal with as a nurse or in the nursing field. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, would you hit your subscribe button? Hit that notification bell. Guys, it's free. Just subscribe to this nursing video. What I wish I would have known before becoming a nurse. It has over 600 and something views, and you guys are not subscribed yet. You are watching it, you are seeing it. Like, hit that subscribe button, guys. It's free. Stay connected with me. I love to see yours comments. I feel really motivated when I see you guys comments. It really motivates me to kind of make more nursing videos. And I see you all getting into these nursing programs, asking me questions. You all keep the questions coming, because your girl is here for you all. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm excited. You guys keep on coming to this channel. I pray you all stay connected with me, and you all come get all these juicy points you need to know about being a nurse. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.